Hello and welcome back to the shop. Today I have some new tools that came in, and these are insert tool holders from A.R. Warner, and they take high-speed steel inserts and can also take carbide inserts, which is one of the reasons why I picked these up. And so we're going to do a little review on this, unboxing these, and I'm kind of go over what the actual insert numbers mean and a few things like that. Now, still a little bit of research and doing and printing out some charts and stuff to show you guys. But I do want to show you these tools, and I have both the high-speed steel inserts that come with this, and I have a set of carbide inserts that I have picked up to fit these. And we're going to try them out on a few different materials out in the lathe and see how they work, pretty much in preparation of doing the machinist jacks for this upcoming video this weekend, hopefully. So just put these through its paces, and we'll try them with high-speed steel and also with the carbide inserts I have, and we'll kind of show you the differences between them. So let's come over here to the bench, and we'll take a closer look at the set that I got and how inserts are numbered, and the tool holders and all those kinds of things are numbered. Alright, so first I'm going to give you a peek of the tool holders themselves. And these can be had from A.R. Warner, Arthur R. Warner themselves, or they can be bought through Little Machine Shop for the same exact price. So you can go either way. Little Machine Shop's out in California. A.R. Warner is a little more towards the East Coast. I'll be honest with you, I can't exactly remember, actually. Latrobe, Pennsylvania is where they're out of. So you have one East Coast and one West Coast, basically, so whichever is easier for you. And this is kit number 11. And what this consists of is two tool holders. You have a right-hand tool holder and a left-hand tool holder, and another one that holds that other two edges, so you can get the other two edges on this. And basically these are, or this one here, not necessarily this one, is an SC LCR 083A tool holder. Now I was going to get the Toolmex ones because they're headquartered right over in Natick, not too far from me. And those are, they're designed in the US, they're made in Taiwan. These are supposedly made in the United States. I'm assuming the tool holders are. I know the inserts are. So these are all USA made, which is one of the reasons why I went with this set over a regular Toolmex holder, and also because I wanted to get the inserts anyway to try out and compare them against the carbide on the smaller lathe. So that's one of the reasons why I bought this over the Toolmex versions. Basically, half-inch shake is kind of slightly harder to come by. The reason why we chose half-inch was because that's the largest side that my tool holders will fit, and that's kind of the largest size I want to use on this lathe. And I got half-inch instead of, say, 3/8, because if I upgraded to a larger lathe, these would be a little bit more at home on that than they would if they were 3/8. So, but overall, very, very good quality. You can't even see any tool marks. The blackening is excellent on them. Fit and finish is really good. And like I said, these are SC LCR 083A holders, which basically means the S means that it's a screw only to hold the insert. The C means it takes an 80-degree insert, 80-degree triangle, not triangle, sorry, 80-degree square. L is the tool is held at a 5-degree offset. C is it's a 7-degree relief angle for the tool. R means it's right hand, a right-hand turning tool. 08 means it's a half-inch shaft. 3 means it's a 3/8 inch circle insert. If you were to scribe a circle on this, inscribe circle. And A means that it is 4 inches, physically 4 inches long. So before we actually get into the inserts and what we have here, what these do take for inserts is CCMT 3251 and 3252 different size inserts, and I'm going to go through kind of what the numbers actually mean so it makes more sense to you, and then we'll get a kind of a closer shot of this and compare the two different kinds of inserts. So let's switch gears just a little bit and show you what we mean by all those numbers on the inserts. Okay, so we're going to break down what the insert names mean a little bit, and in our case we're going to be using this carbide insert as an example, which is a CCMT 3251. That's the way a lot of people will say it. Will say 3251, but that actual middle number is its own separate number. We'll get to that when we as we go along. Now this is just for this particular example. These numbers and letters can be in any different configuration. There are many. It all depends. The T would be like a triangle insert or something like that. There are very many variations of this. So your first letter is the actual shape of the insert. In our case, that letter is a C, which means that it is an 80-degree diamond insert. The second letter is your clearance angle, whether or not it has one. In our case, the C means it's a 7-degree angle, meaning there is a 7-degree clearance cut into the tip of that tool. You can see it there. This third letter to us doesn't mean a whole lot. That's the actual tolerance built into the insert itself. In our case, this insert can vary in size by 2 to 5 thousandths depending. Tolerances go up and tolerances go down. You can also, this letter will denote a ground edge also on the higher tolerance ones. The fourth letter here is the actual whole configuration of the insert and chip breaker configuration if it's present. So in our case, a T means it's a 40 to 60 degree double countersink, which means that's what that hole is configured as in the middle, and it's a single-sided chip breaker. You can kind of see here that chip breaker right here along the edge is only on one side of that insert, does not exist on the other. The first letter that you come to is the physical size of the insert, but that's the size if you were of an inscribed circle. So in other words, that is the biggest circle that would fit inside of this this insert here. So you could actually fit a 3/8 hole in this entire insert. It's just an indication of physical size. Now this middle number in our case can be misconstrued a lot. You'll hear people say 3251, 3252. The easiest way to find that middle number is find the first number and the last number, and whatever's in the middle, that is the actual thickness number. And it could be 2.5, it could be 2, it could be 3.5, something like that. So just to not misconstrue it, look at the first number and the last number, and whatever's in the middle, that's the thickness of your insert. In our case, we have a 5/32 thickness in this insert. The last number is the actual radius ground on the nose of the insert. In our case, that is a 1, and that is a 1/64 radius ground on the tip of this tool. It's kind of hard to see. You might be able to see it a little better there. There is a slight radius ground into the tip of the tool. Now to go with something that you hear Keith and Adam talk about a lot, a CNMG 432 insert. That is also an 80-degree diamond holder, diamond tool bit, so it looks exactly like this, but our clearance angle of N means we have 0. We have no clearance angle, meaning that the edge of this here, the cutting edge, is the same distance as the bottom. So it's perfectly straight instead of at a 7-degree angle. Which is why if you watch Keith's videos and Adam's videos and you see their tool holder is at a negative rake. In other words, their tool holder is tipped in relative to their workpiece. Something along the lines of that. M, we have the same tolerance as we had for before. G, we have a little bit of difference here. So we have a cylindrical hole, meaning it's just a straight hole through, and we have a double-sided chip breaker, which makes sense because if we have no clearance angle, means that we can use that insert on all the sides. We can use it in this orientation here, and we can flip it over and use it in this orientation here, which is why it has a cylindrical hole, straight hole through. The size is obviously bigger. We have a 4, which means we can fit a 1/2 inch circle inside of that insert. We're thicker here. We have a 3, which means that that insert that they use is 3/16 inches thick. And also the nose radius is bigger. They have a 1/32 nose radius on their bits. So that's kind of how this goes. Now this is, you can look this all up on the internet and you know, figure out exactly how it goes with all these different numbers. But for us, we're dealing with the CCMT 3251s and 3252. Okay, so this set comes with a right-hand turning tool, a left-hand turning tool, and this head-on kind of either direction turning tool, like left hand or right hand. Or this will probably be very good for chamfering, because if you look with the way it will sit in your holder, if you have this set up for say the workpiece is over here, if you have this set up for left hand turning, you can flip it around this way and chamfer really good with this edge. So that's probably the way we're going to have these set up, is just like that. Now these inserts here are CCMT 3252. So this nose radius on here is bigger than is on these carbide inserts. So we'll kind of zoom in and show you what these look like. Okay, so we're up close and you can see that they're pretty much the same size, but as you can see here, the nose radius is much bigger on the high-speed steel ones than on the carbide. Also, you can see on the high-speed steel ones, there is zero chip breaker in this, which actually makes this this insert a CCMW 3252 is the actual designation for these. They also make a CCMW 3251 with the smaller nose radius. So I got the smaller nose radius on the carbide, so that way there it doesn't take as much horsepower to drive this through than it does this. But like I said, high-speed steel is more forgiving with horsepower requirements and speeds than the carbide. So we're going to see the difference between them. Also, the good thing about these is to sharpen these, all you would have to do if you dull an edge is flip it over like so and just give it a few rubs straight on the top, on top of a stone, and just basically sharpen and freshen up that edge. So you probably get a really lot of life out of those. And as you can see, here's the holder, and you can see how the holder here would hold the tool in relation to the work. Something along the lines of that. So there's your 7-degree clearance angle, continued in your 7-degree clearance angle of your tool holder here. So that's the most important thing with a smaller lathe, is you want a positive geometry insert and holder. You don't want to run a negative geometry on a smaller lathe. It's just not meant to do that. You need some sort of relief to be able to want to peel that metal off instead of force and push that metal off like the higher horsepower machines can do. So like I said, we're going to run these through their paces in aluminum, a couple types of steel, maybe even brass and copper, and see how they behave one after another. And we'll kind of just go through it and see how they go, and I'll give my honest opinion of these inserts after we're done. As far as the holders go, holders look really nice. Like I said, nice blackening here. No visible tool marks or anything. I know you see more common in the hobby, in the hobby market would be the triangular inserts that you can get, and the triangular insert tool holders. And I know if you see those, they look like somebody shaped them with a hand grinder. But these look really nice. No, like I said, no real crazy tooling marks that you can see. Nice and round surface. Same thing with these. The other ones here. Now they do offer threading tools, high-speed steel threading tools. They offer stand-up threading tools, lay-down threading tools. They have a parting and grooving tool, and they also have boring bars. AR Warner does. Toolmex also offers basically this holder here. Obviously no inserts. You'll have to get the only place that will sell the high-speed inserts would be Little Machine Shop and AR Warner, and the Little Machine Shop high-speed inserts come from AR Warner. So basically AR Warner is the only place you'll be able to get those. These actually I had got from or got off eBay. I got the carbide ones. So the Toolmex ones, you can get the same tool holder. They also make boring bars in this configuration. They're a little bit cheaper, but like I said, I decided to go with these because these inserts are $7 or $8 a pop, and you get in this kit you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get five tool holders. You get the wrench for these, and you get an extra screw. So I figured since I had to buy these anyway, might as well just go with this one, and we can get those on eBay. So that's how we did it. So let's set up on the lathe. I'll get these set on my tool holders, set on center height, and we'll see how they perform. Okay, so this is the debut of the Skycam here. So in the interest of doing this as kind of equal-footed as possible, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the tool holder at the same angle for all my cuts, whether it be carbide or whether it be the high-speed steel. What we'll do is we'll take a 100 thousandths cut, 100 thousandths off of the diameter, so 50 thousandths deep, and then we'll do a say 20 thousandths, so 10 thousandths deep, a 20 thousandths total cut off of it, and see the difference between the finishing cuts of the carbide and the finishing cuts of the high-speed steel here. And we may adjust the feed rate and speed accordingly to the high speed and the carbide. So first up here is we're going to do aluminum. This is 6061 aluminum, and I will also try the other tool here, this one here, as there is a hole drilled in here. We'll try this as a chamfering tool just this once to see how it works out. So let me just set this other tool here on center height and set up a little bit better lighting, and we'll have at it. Okay, so this is the little sideways tool holder here. We'll try as kind of an edge breaker here, and I'm not going to use any cutting oil or cutting fluid. The only thing I'll be using the cutting fluid on is when we do the steel. So that actually works pretty good. Not the greatest, just because the relief's a little bit off. Yeah, that works pretty good as an edge breaker. And then, you know, break that outside edge there. That works pretty good. So now we're going to try this, the regular tool. And like I said, we're going to be doing 100 thousandths total cut, so 50 in feet of 50, and then we're going to be doing an in feet of 10, just for a short distance, and see how it works. I'm predicting that this is going to go all stringy and crazy on me, just because this is aluminum and this has 0 chip breaker in it. So we'll see. I might be proven wrong. Alright, so that was a feed rate of 5 thousandths, and actually that's a really decent finish there. So what we'll do is the same thing. We're going to take $20 thousandths. That's not a bad finish there. And the good thing about this is, even in the same setup, because of the relief angle, I can face with the same setup. So that's not bad. I'm going to switch this out real quick. We're going to try the carbide and see the difference. This little striations that you see in here are actually vibration marks, and those are from my drive belt. The belt is a little bit off track. It wobbles a little bit. I have to fix that. I have to look into that and maybe either realign it or do something with that. But the actual belt from the motor to the pulley has a little bit of vibration in it that I need to check out. So that's what those marks that you see. Okay, so this is carbide with chip breaker, and we've sped the lathe up. Okay, you can kind of see that the carbide doesn't like aluminum. I didn't expect it to. I'm going to try a finishing cut with the carbide, which usually doesn't like that, but we'll give it a shot. And that finish actually isn't too bad. The finish isn't bad at all. So the first cut was really chowdery, but you can see the second cut, not so bad. The high-speed steel was able to take the difference in the speeds and the depths of cut much better than the carbide was. Now we're going to take and we'll put in, let's try some brass and see how she does. This is 360 brass. And it's got a little bit of an interrupted cut at one point, so we'll see how they take it. There's 100 thousandths cut. Really good finish, no degradation at the tip. I'm going to try a finishing cut. Pretty good finish there. Alright, let's switch out to the carbide. Okay, carbide in, sped up the machine. Not a bad finish there at all. Broke the chip a little bit better. I made them direct it kind of more up and forward instead of blowing it back. So let's do 20 thousandths. See what she does. That's actually a really good finish on there. It's not bad at all. Some 1045 in here with some high-speed steel. Okay, let's do a finishing cut. That's actually a decent finish. The one thing I didn't like about that is we got a bunch of long stringy chips. So let me throw the carbide insert in there and see if it actually breaks these and gives a decent finish. 100 thousandths with the carbide. It's cutting much better. Much better. That's actually a pretty decent finish, and that cut much better than the high-speed steel. Let's dial in 20. Still getting those stringy chips. That's just as good a finish than the other one. It liked the larger depth of cut better than the high-speed steel. So kind of go over to the bench and get some final thoughts on the subject. Okay, so the inserts work better on some materials, just as good on some materials, and these work better on some materials. This liked the 1045 a lot more than this did. Now I probably could have fiddled with the approach angle a little bit and got this high-speed steel to cut better, but I kind of wanted an apples to apples kind of test. So that's why I kept everything at the same angle and roughly the same speeds and feeds. Was not pushing the carbide by any means. I was going slower than it's designed for. I do know that, and I was taking a lot less depth of cut than these were designed for. I do know that. I just wanted to see if it will work on kind of a smaller lathe that speed capabilities really isn't all there, and that's only a 1/4 horsepower motor on that lathe. It's nothing huge, and I was able to push through it, and I was able to make the carbide cut and get decent finishes on there, and actually a better finish on the steel than this. But I did want to show you one thing. That last cut on the 1045, I chowdered this bit. You can see the edge there. And the one good thing about these, as compared to the carbide, is you just take yourself a stone here, and you got yourself back a brand new bit. So these will last a lot longer. You have two edges here that you can flip around as you're cutting. If you ever need to sharpen it, just as easy as that. Just hone it and you're done. The difference between them, the major difference was the nose radius, besides carbide and high-speed steel, obviously, is the nose radius. This little chip breaker didn't do a whole lot of difference from the flat. It did push the chips a little bit more one way than the other, and when this was cutting in steel, it actually curled and made the chip. You can see on the 1045 this was kind of making a long stringy, even on the high depth of cut, it was making a long stringy slice your hand open chip, whereas this kind of curly-cued them out and popped them out this way and broke them off. So yeah, so definitely the holders themselves, like I said, very, very nice. Those are worth the money. The inserts themselves, I mean, you guys can decide for yourselves. At least I like kind of having the option of having the high-speed steel when I need it, over just having to run carbide. You don't need to buy the tool holders from AR Warner to use these. You can buy just the inserts. In testing this now, I probably was better off buying a tool holder and then buying the inserts separate. I might fiddle with this a little bit more, getting this to cut better. If I can get this dialed in a lot better than what I just did, then I'll obviously make another review of it. I think a lot of it too is getting used to using these tools as compared to my hand ground bits. So the learning curve could have a little bit to do with it too. So I'm not 100% ready to write these off at a loss as of yet. Plus they have a lot of other nice tool holders there. There's some nice, what looks like some nice boring bars and some stand-up threaders. I might not end up, I don't know, depending. I don't know if I want to get from them again or if I want to go to Toolmex and maybe I'll talk to somebody down to Toolmex and see if they actually sell them out of their native store. I know that's their world headquarters. I don't know if they actually sell them there. And maybe get a look-see at them as compared to these and see if fit and finish is different than these, because they are a lot less than these tool holders here. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that was a real world kind of honest comparison. Like I said, granted, speed rate, actual spindle speed, and actually feed rate and in feed aren't anywhere near perfect or optimal, but we just wanted to do a comparison for each, and my lathe is limited in that capacity to be able to kind of hog off metal. But as you can see, the carbide did work on a small lathe. These, personally, you're much better off learning to grind your own tool bits. That is an essential skill if you want to do anything, any machining. Learning to grind your own tool bits is an essential skill. And I would absolutely suggest that you do that first. Learn to grind your own high-speed steel bits. Learn how the grinds work, what grinds work with different materials, what each angle does. Then make the leap to an insert tooling system if you want to. Your understanding of the angles and things like that will transfer over to these and make your experience much better. But just hopping into these because you don't know how to how to grind a tool bit and you want to get into lathe work, in my opinion, is not the best route to go. Hand grinding high-speed steel bits is just an absolute essential skill, in my opinion. So we'll give these, some use, put some machine time on them, and maybe change our mind about these inserts here. We'll see. We'll test them out against, we'll get some other down the line, other carbide bits with different chip breaker configuration. And I know they do make a specific one that's for aluminum. It has more of a crazy chip breaker and everything going on it. And we'll go from there. But you know, it's a preliminary test, and you guys can kind of get an idea. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you hopefully this weekend in making some machinist jacks.